all you gambling aficionados. As a lifelong gambler, that's right, a lifelong gambler, just look at these rows. I'm gambling that I can sell this stuff. So my dad just liked to gamble on horses and football and not getting caught, you know, running around on my mom. No. I wish that wasn't true. All right, so this weekend, Saturday, it says at the 10 p.m. Central Time, because Dallas, where the auction is going off, the Jimmy the Greek section in the Heritage Platinum auction will be going off. And we went over these items in depth on the other one. So if you search the YouTube channel, we went over that for about 45 minutes. And in the interest of brevity, I won't go over the whole thing again. This is just some stuff that I've parted with and made available to collectors. The 68 Green Bay Packer team signed ball is a highlight. You know, his tie that he wore at all the racing events, an original terrible towel that he got from the Rooneys, you know, some screen-used suits and the top coats when it was cold, the hat that Benny Binion gave him, STP and Richard Petty, the World Series of Poker, his phone book with a lot of phone numbers in it. I'm sure most of them don't work anymore, but maybe some of them do. So these uniforms, this is one he wore on a skit bit on the show, Raiders, Dallas Cowboys, Elvin Hayes, Tampa Bay playoff game, his Emmy, some artwork, and then this is from John Y. Brown that he used to work with. Remember, he introduced Phyllis George and John Y. Brown, and they got married. Unfortunately, Phyllis just passed away. I was very sad. She was a great lady. So this stuff is going off. We have the signed letters of provenance that I've signed. I'm shipping those off to Heritage. They'll be included with all these items, signed check and scribble pad with his betting, CBS Sports, worry beads, going back. These are press credentials from coverages that he was doing with CBS when he was working. And this, they wrote a really nice intro to the stuff, and they put the, you know, this picture of Joe Namath, Happy Joe Namath, because that was one of the big things he did was, you know, made the line on the Baltimore Colts to beat the Jets in Super Bowl III, and it's still like by the line the biggest upset in Super Bowl history. Giants had the second best upset in Super Bowl history. Smiling coyly. But, you know, don't blame me for being a Giant fan. Don't hold it against me, okay? It's like I grew up around the Giants. My dad was friends with the Giants. I had a history with Lawrence Taylor. I used to play basketball with him a lot. It's like, you know, we're football fans. And if you're a football fan, you love the Patriots or the Dolphins or the Raiders, which I am a Raider fan as well because I grew up a Raider fan. It's just like saying I'm a comic fan. I like Spider-Man. Who do you like? Well, I like Batman. You know, we're not gonna, you know, be mean to each other about it, okay? That's my philosophy about sports. Yeah, it's kind of tribal and you want to, you know, hate on each other, but it's more for entertainment purposes only, you know, and the fact that the Giants are scraping by in first place with a losing record is crazy. But the last point I want to make is that I watch Maria Bartiromo every morning, and I watch Stuart Varney every morning. And what they featured today was the fact that sports betting being sanctioned by different states is a booming industry. Like DraftKings and FanDuel, you know, I think it's FanDuel that has a betting lounge at the Meadowlands. I could almost walk there from here You know, if I wanted to get some exercise, I could walk there, but I don't know if I do want to get some exercise. No, but if I wanted to get some action down, instead of spending all my money on this kind of stuff, and I wanted to put in action, you know, FanDuel and DraftKings and all these betting sites, even the state of Pennsylvania, I think, has instituted their own sports betting. So I think it's Penn Gaming, and they're on, you know, they're publicly traded, such like that. And, you know, my dad was just way ahead of his time in that respect. I mean, you know, he was, if he could live to see the prevalence of sports betting today, I mean, he's just rolling over in the mausoleum. There's some weird noises coming out of Steubenville Cemetery right now. Weird noises. Okay. So much about the life of the Wizard of Odds. The Wizard of Odds. That's the best artwork that this guy, I have this artwork. And this was a cover to Argosy, who used to be a pretty well-known men's magazine. So the Wizard of Odds feels prescient in the current climate of American sports. From the shifting political ties we see in the NFL and NASCAR, to the relocation of the Raiders franchise to a shiny new stadium just off the Las Vegas Strip. An unthinkable event back in Snyder's day. That's right. You know, Pete Rozelle was absolutely, you know, against any team being in Vegas and being subject to the influence of, you know, legalized gambling and sports betting. But now it's kind of shifted in a way that maybe those guys back in the day, you know, if you go all the way back to the Black Sox, you know, these guys weren't making enough money, you know, and the owner was making sure they didn't make enough money. So that's why they took the money, because I think they were offered like $5,000 to throw the World Series apiece. Well, that was more than they were making in their entire season. Okay? So now a guy coming out of college is signing a 3-year, $10 million contract. It's really hard to get to him in a way that's going to matter. You know, maybe, you know, an aging veteran that's on his way out wants one last score. I don't know. You know, there's hypotheticals, but I just don't see, based on the salaries and the way these guys are getting paid, that gambling can get inside or have a problem in today's NFL, especially the NFL, especially the NBA. You know, and I don't know who bets on hockey. You got to be a real hockey degenerate to bet on hockey. No, he's not over there. So if you're a hockey fan, and that's a different story. But the amount of money that's involved with salaries is just, you know, the lion's share of that salary. They're getting half the money that this multi-billion-dollar business is generating. You know, to have some kind of influence on a game is just highly improbable. Highly improbable. So anyway, Varney was talking about how, and he had a guest on about how sports betting was booming, and that the states were going to open it up and make more and more states were going to be open to sports betting, you know, online and taxable, you know, so they're looking for, you know, all the states are looking for revenue streams. So Heritage Auction is proud to make available to the collecting world. Each lot this collection is consigned by Jimmy the Greek's son and will be accompanied by his letter of provenance. So here's the letters of provenance that I've signed, and this will be going off on Saturday. And I really appreciate anybody that's interested, you know, lending their support to the auction and putting some bids in, because this stuff I was holding on to because I, you know, didn't feel a need to sell it, but I figured I'd want to get some of this stuff out into the collecting world, you know, before it was too late. No, but it was another way to kind of supplement the fact that I had lost, you know, a lot of revenue from not being able to do shows this year. So that's what's going on with the Jimmy the Greek collection. You know, anybody that's interested, wants the Legend of Jimmy the Greek 30 for 30 that I helped produce for ESPN, let me know, and I can hook you up with a copy. I was actually there that day when we shot that picture and helped my dad walk out onto the beach. It was not easy. I still remember that. There was a couple girls that were in bikinis that said hi. Still remember those girls. I got a picture with those girls, actually. Anyway, that's kind of a memory. We were down in South Beach at the time, and he was going to the racetrack every day. I'd drive him to the racetrack. So that is what's going on with the Jimmy the Greek collection. If you want to look at it in more depth, I did talk about it for about 45 minutes the other day, and you can reference that in our backlog on the YouTube channel. And then I look for me to start doing some streaming interviews with people that knew my dad. I want to hit up one of the producers of this show, George Veras, who runs, I think he's got a credit on this because he's the one that first called me to help out with this. Yep. Consulting producer, George Veras. Yep. Well, he runs the Canton NFL Hall of Fame, the Football Hall of Fame. So maybe I can get George Veras on and we can tell Jimmy the Greek stories. And so anybody that knew my dad that wants to come on and tell a story, let me know, hit me up. So I'm Anthony Snyder, better known or little known as Jimmy the Greek Jr., let's put it that way. And we're gonna try to bring back the name and get it out there again and tell some good stories and redo a book, maybe get a media project like a mini series together. That's my ambition with Jimmy the Greek because of his very interesting life that he led. So support the auction. Thanks a lot.